just said Jersey was coming over today.
You know?
DJ Khaled, we the best. Who? We the best. The runners. I represent the ghetto across the world, and you represent the hood. Two hands in the sky. I'm so listen.
I wear my pants below my waist and I never dance when I'm in this place, cause you and your man is planning to hate. I'm so hood. And I got these goals up in my mouth. If you get closer to my house, then you know what I'm talking about. I'm out the hood. And if you feel me, put your hands up. Hood, my hood, can you stand up? Hood. If you not from here, you can walk it out. And you not hood if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Everybody want to motherfucker know why I dress so fly, sit so high. I do it for the hood. I do it cause I'm cool. Heavy stars in my jeans, please. 4X in my white tee. Living life like a G, that's why these wanna fight me. But I ain't gonna play with them. Rather have the AK hit them. Get mixed up and put on ice for the rest of their life. I'm straight out the hood, bruh. See, that's who I do it for. I'm my low class ghetto word. Yes, you knew my ghetto pants.
Yeah, I wear my pants below my waist and I never dance when I'm in this place, cause you and your man is planning to hate. I'm so hood. And I got these goals up in my mouth. If you get closer to my house, then you know what I'm talking about. I'm about the hood. And if you feel me, put your hands up. Hood, my hood, can you stand up? Hood. If you not from here, you can walk it out. And you not hood if you don't know what I'm talking about.
House. Yeah. 4-5 off in the ride. 4 blunts for me to get high. Feel a bump when I ride by.
I'm so hood.
I got them hating, talking like flies. Beat dropping like flies. Snitching ain't gon' cut no time.
I'm so hood.
I murdered one of you. Probably for your last. And now come to man. More money, more millions. Yeah, yo, millions, I made them. My Maybach is mine. My city is mine. I made them. Boss.
Yeah, I wear my pants below my waist and I never dance when I'm in this place, cause you and your man is planning to hate. I'm so hood. And I got these goals up in my mouth. If you get closer to my house, then you know what I'm talking about. I'm out the hood. And if you feel me, put your hands up. Hood, my hood, can you stand up? Hood. If you not from here, you can walk it out. And you not hood if you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm so
Damn, my P.O., y'all can tell I said it. Violate me if she won't, gon' have to come catch me. Piss test me all you want, I'ma smoke when I'm ready. Pants hanging off me now, cause my heavy. I ain't spoke to you yet, dawg, cause I ain't friendly. I drink Yike, homie, y'all drink Chris. I like busted babies, I don't want that bougie beer. I never buy a Phantom, Twin 8s can't fit. They say I'm fair bound, they call me high risk. My full-blooded goon, lanes make me sick. You getting 3 or 4 birds where I'm from, we call you rich. I like to thank the hood, homie, you taught me how to will.
DJ Khaled, we the best. We the best, man. Listen up.
Just got 100 of that brown paper bag money. Cause Philly wanna talk money. It's real, it's all I can talk.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Happy Monday to you. Let's go.
Thank God for those days, thank God for those nights. Though it might seem wrong, thank God for that white. They used to call me the Pyrex Kid, a.k.a. Young.
Hey, 404-822-5467. You can also email me at dougthedugstewartshow.com. Hey, listen, man, I was embellishing a little bit about the last Boy Scout mentioned. No, I didn't want Michael Crabtree to pull out a gun and shoot Talib on the field, last Boy Scout style. I didn't mean that. Not really. Point is, I would understand if dude would have did something extreme, to try to get some get back from what happened last year. Yeah, I'm definitely not promoting any violence like that. Which is one of a very good movie back in the day. If you haven't seen The Last Boy Scout. All right, so back to the NFL, man. Rookie Joe Mixon ran for a career-high 114 yards. Yes, he was one of the members of the Doug Stewart Show on DraftKings as well. Yeah, I'm not going to get into the DraftKings thing right yet. But Joe Mixon ran for a career-high 114 yards, and the Bengals offense, man, really looked pretty decent, but they were playing against the Cleveland Browns as they beat the Browns 30-16. Andy Dalton, 18 for 28, 214 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 30-16 victory over the Browns. The Browns are 0-11. Yeah, the Browns are 0-11 right now, man. It's not going to get any better. Deshaun Kaiser doesn't throw in any interceptions, but it just wasn't enough. He doesn't throw any TDs either. 18 for 31, 288 yards. Cincinnati gets a win. And looky, the Buffalo Bills back on the winning side of things as Tyrod Taylor takes snaps under the center this weekend. He's steady, man. That's right. Tyrod Taylor threw for 183 yards and a touchdown in his return to the starting lineup. Tre'Davious White intercepted Alex Smith with just over a minute remaining, and the Buffalo Bills held off the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead, in Kansas City, 16-10 on Sunday. Look at his numbers. 19 for 29, talking about Tyrod Taylor, 19 for 29, 183 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. That's what he does, okay? He is steady, you know? And he probably got, I don't see his numbers right now in front of me, but he probably had, 30, 40, 50 yards rushing. He probably made a couple of plays with his legs to move the chains, and the big thing is he didn't turn the ball over. Tyrod Taylor, the way he plays the game, man, he strikes me as a guy that came up the way that I did, where it was stressed that you can't turn the football over. And they've done this, all these studies, man. If you're +1 in turnovers, your chances of winning the game in NFL history is probably like 70%. If you're +2, it's like 85%, and these numbers aren't exact. And if you're +3 in turnovers, it's like a 98% chance you're going to win the football game. You can't turn the ball over. And so it was stressed to me as a kid growing up, and it was probably stressed to Tyrod Taylor that you cannot turn the football over, and it worked for him. Shame on the Buffalo Bills for benching that man last week. Shame. Shame, shame, shame on them. The New England Patriots beat the Miami Dolphins. Moving on. Looky. The New York Giants go down to the Washington Redskins, 20-10. Kirk Cousins threw for 2 touchdown passes and had a real rough day. Had a pick 6 early in that game as well. And the Giants go down again, and they're now 2-9 on the year. If you're new to the show, I'm a New York Giants hater. I'm also a Washington, D.C. football team hater too, but a little bit less than I am a New York Giants hater. Shut up! Going back to Thanksgiving, that first game was on Thanksgiving. The Giants and the Redskins game was on Thanksgiving Day as well. Also for the Cowboy fans out there, man, it's a RAP on the season. Phillip Rivers threw for 434 yards and 3 touchdowns in his first Thanksgiving game in his 14th season. And the Los Angeles Chargers beat the fading Dallas Cowboys 28-6 on Thursday. And I guess Ezekiel Elliott is important to the Dallas offense. Man, this ain't a good look, Dak. See, this is what happens. This is kind of like a comparison between Dak and Tyrod Taylor. Second half of that game, man, Dak Prescott threw 2 of the worst interceptions you will ever see in your life. All right, but here's the thing about it. They got no running game. So what does that mean? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. What does that mean? That means that the cornerbacks, man, are squatting on everything. You know, they can play tighter coverage. They don't have to peek in the backfield and make sure that they can cover on the run. When they know that there's no threat really of a running attack, everybody on defense can play a lot tighter. You know, or actually a lot less tight. They can play looser on the defensive side of the ball. So you're seeing it manifest itself, man, in some bad play by Dak Prescott, man. 2 bad interceptions in that game in the second half. Played real good the first half. They were in this game, and then the Chargers just pulled the cap off the thing in the second half, man, and pulled away in dominating fashion. It's a wrap for this year for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think that they'll be able to stick around, and by the time that your boy Ezekiel Elliott gets back from this suspension, I don't think that they're going to be able to be in a position to get a wild card. They're not going to win the division, as the Eagles already have a 5-game advantage on them right now. Then there's nobody going to win that division but the Eagles. But will they hang around enough to possibly get a wild card? No. I actually feel sorry for Dallas to a degree because I think the whole suspension of Ezekiel Elliott is unjust. I think it's bullshit, actually. And so, but it is what it is. Not a Cowboy fan, so it doesn't matter to me. And the Minnesota Vikings, man, and Case Keenum. Ball award to Case Keenum. Case Keenum threw for 2 touchdown passes and ran for a score, all in the first half, to give the Vikings a double-digit lead, and they went on to beat the Detroit Lions 30-23 on Thursday. Keenum's been playing good. Ball award to him once again. Can't deny it. He's been playing very good. Obviously, as a guy that wants to see black quarterbacks get their opportunity in the NFL, I'd like to see Teddy Bridgewater and what he could do. But, I mean, there's no reason to give Bridgewater the job back right now. And plus, I don't think Bridgewater is totally healthy. You know, he may come back in there, man, but I don't think he's 100%. And that injury that he had, that was a serious injury. Remember they were first talking about having to amputate his leg. He had one of those situations where he dislocated his leg as well and tore these major arteries. And so I don't think that he's 100%, man, but there's no way that you can bring him in right now with the run that Case Keenum is on. And he is playing good. Me and my brother were watching this game on Thursday, obviously sitting around the Thanksgiving dinner, being lazy. And Case Keenum, man, is putting that ball, I mean, in perfect spots. He's hitting cats dead in the numbers. And running, has a little athletic-ness about himself as well. And so I totally get it. The Minnesota Vikings right now are 9-2 and well on their way to a playoff spot, man. And tonight, we've got the Houston Texans taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah. So if you haven't heard, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, this game is big. Baltimore is favored by 7.5 points. Texas on the road, obviously, no Deshaun Watson. But this game is big because you get to see both Ellingtons on one squad. That's right. Bruce Ellington, wide receiver out of South Carolina. My family from the big city of Moncks Corner, South Carolina, has been doing work all year long with the Texans as a wide receiver. His cousin, my cousin, Andre Ellington, was just picked up on waivers by the Texans. You got an all Moncks Corner game tonight on Monday Night Football. That's right. That's right. You got 2 of Moncks Corner's finest playing for the Houston Texans tonight with Bruce Ellington at wide receiver and Andre Ellington at running back, man. It's an all Ellington game and all Moncks Corner game tonight, 8:30 p.m. on ESPN, Texans versus the Baltimore Ravens. Let me jump in the chat room on Spreaker.com. Yes, sir. From RC in the chat room on Spreaker.com says the Vikings are playing well, but I'm still not completely sold on Keenum. I'm afraid at some point he'll turn back into a pumpkin. We need to clean up our kicking game, but that defense is elite, and our offense is productive. So, RC, you being a Viking fan, I hear what you're saying, and yes, that would be in the back of my mind as well, is that Case Keenum is going to turn back into Case Keenum, a backup journeyman-type player. But you wouldn't make the change at this point to put Bridgewater in there, right? I mean, as much as, once again, I root for that young man and the plight of black quarterbacks, you can't make that move right now, you know? And if Bridgewater had done more in his short career And if I thought he was healthy, I probably would have done it when he was able to play